Alex Scott, your authenticity host here on Radio.Works World, broadcasting all the way from South Africa. And again, tonight we have the privilege of Marina Nani, the owner and founder of Radio.Works World, joining us all the way from the UK. Hello, Marina.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. You are here for a great reason. If you don't know why, if you don't know what is the reason, stay tuned. You are about to find out. Over to you, Mareli.
So I can't believe today is episode 10 already. Time has really gone by very fast for me. Today's topic is standing firm in your authenticity. And again, Marina, as always, you are welcome to jump in whenever you feel like it. I want to start off with a quote from Abraham Lincoln. And it goes, be sure you put your feet in the right place, then stand firm. So if you look at the quote, it says, be sure you put your feet in the right place. So it's not going to help if you are standing in the wrong place and you are standing firm there. So first of all, you need to find out where to stand. And with that, I mean, you need to stand firm in your authenticity. And now your authenticity is knowing who you are, what you stand for, what your beliefs and your values are, and standing firm in that. So first you need to establish all those things before you can stand firm in your authenticity. And by doing this, you will also discover your true worth. So if you, just to simplify it, imagine being in an argument with someone. So if you don't know your facts and you don't believe that you know the truth, and you are in an argument with another person, then you will most definitely not have a foot to stand on, and you will lose the argument. So this is true in life as well, and when it comes to yourself. So if you don't stand firm in who you are and in your authenticity, the slightest wind can bring you down and make you compromise yourself and question yourself. And with winds, I mean, it can be anything from rumors, opinions of people, gossip, people talking behind your back, people that don't understand where you're coming from or where you're going. So if you don't know yourself and you don't stand firm in your authenticity, that will have a bigger impact on your life and it will sway you around in the wind. So, and unfortunately, life isn't perfect. And there will always be people that will try to bring you down. And that doesn't mean that you should lower yourself and become like them. Or it also doesn't mean that you should hide in the crowd just to not stand out. Because we all know by hiding in the crowd and not standing out, it's much easier, because if you stand up for yourself and you stand out, then the possibility of people pointing fingers at you, or trying to get some ammunition against you or talk behind your back, the chances are much bigger. But authenticity also means standing firm in your direction, even if it means that all the other people are moving in another direction. And remember, sorry, authentic person is someone that's a leader, and it's more like authentic person is more like a lion. He's not like a lamb that just follows the crowd. Authentic person choose their own path. They create their own path. They don't look at where all the other people are going. They know where they are going. And to get back to standing firm in your authenticity and knowing who you are and knowing your true worth, also to simplify it, if you imagine you have to sell a product to someone else. This can be anything, this can be a pen or a book, whatever. Now, the value of the product determines the price people will pay for that product. And if you're the seller and you don't know the value of that product, and you cannot communicate that, and you don't believe in the value of that product, people will not, they wouldn't want it, or they wouldn't want to pay much for it because they don't really see a lot of value in it, and they will think it's easily replaceable. And they wouldn't really, if it's, let's say it's a expensive toy or something. If it's less expensive, then probably you're not going to look after it that well because you think, oh, well, I can get another one very quickly or very easily. Well, we spend a lot of money, you will look after it much better and value it more. Now, the same goes for you. If you don't know who you are, you don't know your value, you will settle for anything in life. And this is a very dangerous place to be. And this goes for relationships, business deals, and life in general. And Marina, I don't know if you agree, but I think that's one of the biggest problems probably in relationships today, or that I see, and for a reason of people being in unhappy relationships, because they don't know their true value, and the other person also has struggles to see the value in other people or in their partner. So if you don't know that, you will settle for anything. You will settle for anything less, and you will easily adapt to and turn into something or someone that someone else expects you to be, or that you think someone else expects you to be. And now, standing firm in your beliefs and knowing your value also means not fitting in. And that's the point. We were not born to fit in, like we already said. We were born to stand out, and you deserve the best, and you need to believe that. Everybody that's listening to this, you need to understand your true worth, and you need to believe that you really deserve the best in life. You do not need to settle for anything less than what you deserve. Now, standing firm in your authenticity can also sometimes mean that you have to stand alone. And a lot of times, in order to be successful, and with this I mean being successful in fulfilling your life purpose, sometimes it's necessary for you, or it just happens that you will lose some people along the way, people that you might outgrow, or people that might not understand where you're going, or different reasons. You might lose people along the way, and it may lead to you standing alone. And you need to be okay with that. But I also don't believe it's not a requirement, and it doesn't mean that you have to be single the rest of your life. But I think you need to be okay if that's the case. And maybe a lot of times it's just for a period of your life. But you need to be so confident in who you are and where you're going that it's okay for you to be on this path alone sometimes. And I think you need to take that in your stride and use that time to get to know yourself and to just become stronger before the next person comes along. Do you agree, Marina?
Yes, actually, it's very, it's, how should I put this? Almost like a divine intervention. You are saying this because before your show, we had another show which is going to be aired tomorrow, and strangely enough, we were talking about success and how somebody who really believes in what they believe in their vision, usually is about your vision, is about what you want to deliver, what you have in your mind and you want to deliver into the world. won't settle for less, and it will become unshakable.
Mm.
You know, will let nothing to move you anywhere else than where you want to go, because you got that clarity in your mind. And actually, you were mentioning a quote, I don't know by whom, because we couldn't remember. We both read it, but none of us could remember who said it. That
Okay.
it's very strange that we came to this. This is for time today, actually, when you are mentioning this, is that a, a man or a woman who is successful is a person who can take all the bricks other people have thrown of him or her, and build an edifice, build a building. So all the bricks and stones other people were throwing at you during your life, when they didn't agree with you, or they didn't accept your way of looking at things, they didn't like your vision because it was uncomfortable for them. Um, True success means that you could pick them up and build an edifice, build a building with those bricks. And I'm really grateful that you mentioned it, because I left that show. When we ended that show, I realized that what keeps you going is when you decide to listen to yourself and stop or start unlistening to what other people are saying, because it's not their fault. It's just is their social conditioning or their circumstances, and it's not their fault. So you can't even blame them. So you have to take the risk and embrace that challenge of not being surrounded by the people you would love to be surrounded and be part of your vision. Accept that it is a lonely place. Success is a lonely place, is a lonely planet we're on. But from the other hand, you are never alone. Look at us. We are here
Yeah.
together. We share each other day or each other week or each other hour another amazing idea, and nobody is frightened by your big idea. So your idea is, how should I put this, is only as big as you are, and you are as big as your idea is. And your point makes so much sense, Mareli. I never thought about this before, actually. So being ready to unsettle, being ready to take something that is only in your mind as your own reality, as your own measurement, that takes courage.
Oh,
But
yes.
when you really get to see it clearly, and you become your vision, then it's almost impossible for anyone to convince you otherwise. It's as if everybody speaks a different language, and you speak this language, and who wants to be with you have to learn your language.
Oh, yes. And it's so amazing once you start, focusing on being authentic and all the aspects of that. You realize that it's a whole new world. It's a whole new world you maybe never knew existed. And like you say, it's not easy. It's never easy. It's totally worth it, but it's never easy. It's a very difficult path, the path of success as well. And if you look at anybody that accomplished something very big in the world, and you look back on their past, they all went through a really difficult time, but they just continued. They believed in themselves, they believed in their vision or their product. They just believed in it, and no matter what happened around them or what was said about them or what their circumstances were, they just kept pushing and going for it. And eventually you will get there.
I think it's not even a question of if. It's always like certain words disappear from this new language you are speaking. You don't have words like if, or words like but, or words like try. You know, they don't make sense anymore. And each time you hear somebody saying those words, you're thinking, what are they talking about? It's so weird. And for me, another word that is not anymore part of my language is how. People keep blocking themselves. I used to do that myself, asking how I'm going to do this. I really wanted, I wanted badly, but how? And that was blocking everything, because you're telling your mind, I was telling my mind at least, that I don't stand a chance. Once you start questioning and thinking of the how, you lose focus on the vision, on the outcome. So what I've done, I decided to replace that word with wow. So instead of how I'm going to do this, I don't have this, I don't have that, I'm thinking, wow, I'm doing this, I'm in the middle of everything. It's happening right now, and everything else is
Wow.
happening, and is true, is a fact. And no matter what the project is, I never question my ability to take that journey. And I only there is this thing, actually, I'm obsessed by it. I become obsessed by the vision. I become my vision. I can't think of anything else. And when sometimes I took so many courses, and in the last 4 years, that
Wow.
some coaches, they like to ask, so what, write down 10 things you are thinking about right now. And I'm thinking, it's only one thing I'm thinking. I don't have 10. Is that good? Is that bad? I don't care. I can't think of anything else. So I think identifying yourself, it's exactly what you said. Standing firm, and learn to unlisten the words you don't need, the words that are not serving you, that are not helping you to make progress. And I think we call these people naysayers or something like that. But to me,
Yes.
they, I have my own world. And I was in a plane, and next to me there are two ladies, and one of them was talking all the time, like for 8 hours.
Wow.
Anyway, so she never said anything about herself. It was for 8 hours straight. When I had my headset on, I could still hear. It was always about somebody else, and I'm thinking, this is so sad. This is as if she doesn't exist. She never mentioned one thing about her. It was always something bad about somebody. And at the end, I asked her if she doesn't mind me giving her a gift. And I had this audio on me, which I made it for myself. So
Wow.
then she emailed me. And she said, she apologized. I said that, and then I replied, I said, there's no need to apologize. I realize that you don't realize you are talking all the time. Your focus goes everywhere else, on everybody else but yourself. And that's something that perhaps was ingrained into your mind, and is eating up all your energy. And she was very, very pleasant woman. She was very exciting, and but she was all about the nonsense. And I was thinking, what if she would put her focus on all that beautiful energy she got about her into something about her. And anyway, so she emailed me twice since then, and she's keep asking when is my next event, when I'm going back to Vietnam, and But it's
Wow.
just strange how sometimes you are in a certain place, and even you are in your world, and you don't want to listen. You refuse to waste your time. You are next to somebody who needs your help, and I think. At the time, I thought, "Oh my God, I'm crazy." After I gave her the CD, I thought I lost it. That she might smash my head or something.
Shame.
And then I gave her that, and I disappeared. I didn't want her to start asking me why or all that, because I won't be able to tell her anything. But, I think it was for a reason. I think it was I was sitting next to her. Simply because I had to make her aware that she is the most important part of her life, and everybody else don't matter. Everybody else is just there for a reason. If you don't understand the reason, you just move on, and just stay into your world, because your world is your only reality. I know some people are questioning what I'm saying, and I'm not going to apologize, but I think that your only reality is the reality you create for yourself.
Yeah. This is such a powerful story. Wow. And like I said, I think while we were talking, I realized that it's in general, it's so much easier for people to, if someone asks you, do you know that person? Like, do you know Marina? What kind of person is she? It's so easy to say, yes, she's this amazing woman with this big vision, and she helps people getting the messages all over the world. And, we can go on and on and on about anybody else. But when someone asks you, who are you? Then we don't know what to say, or we reply with, this is what I do, this is my job. And so that's something we really need to focus on. And I think also a big problem is that many of us were raised at, if you talk about yourself or you focus on yourself, that you're being selfish and that you are your own God or something like that. And there's a fine line there. But that's not what we are talking about here. And in the process, we neglect ourselves, and we are hurt people. And I mean, the majority of the people on the earth are not whole people. It's people walking around with a lot of issues and not knowing themselves. And we spend most of our lives, most of our time with ourselves. Our whole life, I mean, we spend with ourselves. It's more than we can spend with anybody else. So we need to start focusing on building relationship with ourselves.
You are so right. I don't know. You are so wise, and I'm thinking, God, I don't know where you know all this when you had time to learn everything. So it's a very profound knowledge you bring about, and I think on Valentine's Day I always reflect on the meaning of Valentine's Day. And I never celebrated because my husband, who passed away, his name was Valentine. And when we were young,
Wow.
yes, we never knew about Valentine's Day, but that came about
Wow.
just later in my life. And I start to think it's a beautiful thing. It's a day for people who love each other, and then I start reflecting on that, thinking, but apart from the fact that it's heavily commercialized, everybody is selling on that day like 3 times more for a rose, or which is not really relevant. It's good for business, but I start thinking of why do we need to love each other only once a year? It's like going to
Yes.
church once a week. I'm not a church goer, but I know people are going to church once a week, and it's beautiful. But what about the rest of the week? And the same with your love for other people, the love for yourself, the love for your God, or the love for your vision. You become the love. You can't just love it on Valentine's Day, or you can't believe in God only Sunday. You can't. Simply, it's not enough. The world is
Yeah.
not enough with you being whole, exactly the way you said it. You said it perfectly. I couldn't said it better. And that's the main reason I the main reason I love life is because I am life. I don't need to add days to my life. I enjoy every single moment. And of course, there are difficult moments, like everybody got those moments, and they are there, not happening to you. They're happening for you to understand something about yourself. And, embrace those, whatever challenge is in front of you right now. You have to go all in, embrace it, and make it your own. It's the only way you can resolve a challenge. If you
Wow.
don't face it full on, it's unlikely
Yeah.
that you'll ever understand the challenge, the magnitude of the challenge. So instead of being frightened that, oh my God, what's going to happen, you have to understand that you are going to make happen whatever you want to make happen. And it is simply by using the power of your thoughts. It's simply by going to that vision of yours and understand that you have this moral duty. It's your duty to deliver that vision. Nobody else have that vision. Nobody else could understand the vision. You can't blame anyone. And all the people who are telling you no, they say no simply because they don't understand. And is within the right to have an opinion. By you have a moral duty to deliver that vision. And once you understand you are the vision, you become unshakable. You cannot be moved by anything else but by your own vision.
Wow. Yes. It's so true. And I think it's almost time for us to end the conversation. But before we do that, I want to end with my core message of today that I would like you to do, and that is know who you are, really know who you are, what you stand for, and what your beliefs and your values are. And once you know that, you need to stand firm in them every single day, every situation, so you can be unshakable.
Wow. From both of us, remember, we are here to broadcast your passion. Goodbye.
Bye bye.